So if you're a teenager, particularly a teenager who watches a lot of like self-development content, you'll hear a lot of advice that's saying like to be successful, whatever that means, you need to like just lock in on one thing and say no more and like eliminate as much as you can from your life because it'll distract you from your goals. Fuck that, for so many reasons. Look, alright, if you're 22 years old and your life is fucked and you've got nothing going for you and everything's fallen apart and you just have a couple of goals that you want to lock in on, and say it's like you want to get jacked as fuck and you want to start an online business and get rich, and that's the two things you care about in life. You're not really looking to like date and you're not really looking to be really social. Okay, sure, like things like monk mode and things like like eliminating as much as possible and saying no more, sure, those things are going to help, right? But if you're a teenager, and the problem with a lot of this kind of advice, like this men's like self-improvement, like masculinity advice, is it's like they're speaking to everybody as if everybody is in the same exact circumstance. Things like don't watch porn, don't play video games, get into the gym, improve your mental health. Like, okay, that's universal. Everybody can apply that. Eat clean, think about like your hormonal health and increasing your testosterone, stuff like that. Okay, be disciplined. Like all of this, great advice. But what pisses me off is when everybody gets given this advice of like more big picture life advice. Particularly the stuff where it's like lock in on a couple of things and don't have balance and say no to more things and just make your life as like focused and niche as possible. Fuck that. If you're a teenager, especially, please, I beg of you, do not listen to that advice, okay? It's just, honestly, this age is about trying things. I'm 15, right? 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, up to like 21. You gotta just try shit. You don't know who you are or what you like or what you're into or what your goals or your values are. And when this Andrew Tate, Iman Gadzhi, Hamza shit of just like, you should only care about money and muscles and like fucking girls but not actually having deep, intimate and like beautiful relationships with them, like that's where you just lose me, man. And I want to give you the advice, which you probably don't hear enough. You need to try more things. At this age, I'm 15, right? 15 years old. How the fuck am I supposed to know who I am, what I want to do with my life, especially what I want to sacrifice everything for? One day I'll find that, and there will be periods where I'm gonna have to really lock in and just be like really disciplined and just be really focused on that one thing, right? There will be periods where that advice is applicable and necessary. But for now, I've been hearing that shit so much, and I used to buy into it, right? I used to like follow that advice, and honestly, it made me really unhappy, and it made me feel empty, because I was checking boxes on a habit tracker, and like I was like putting on muscle, and like I was learning a bunch of stuff by reading a bunch of books. Like great, all that was great, but I was unhappy and I was empty and I didn't have any good friends, and like I'd been on like one date and it went shit. Like my relationship with my family, my dad particularly, was awful. I didn't want to acknowledge it to myself, but I felt selfish and I felt bored. I felt really bored. I was closing myself off from people and opportunities and experiences in the name of like progress on things that, sure, they're important, but like at this age, at 15 years old, there is so much more to life than the gym and like reading business books, right? After about a year and a half of following that advice, I got around some better people and I opened my mind to some different advice. Some of these mentors were giving me advice, and they were like, one of them gave me a really like specific piece of advice. He's like, have you seen the movie Yes Man? And I was like, no, I haven't. Still haven't. But he was like, I want you to adopt the mindset from that movie of saying just yes, consciously trying to say like yes to more things, right? Like experiences, people, opportunities. Put yourself out there. He said a particular phrase. He said, you've got to step out to find out. Couldn't agree more. It's simple, but it's profound. If you don't try things, you won't know. And if you don't know, then you don't know what you like, and you're in this weird vortex of like just emptiness, and like you're not fulfilled and you're not content and you're not even enjoying yourself, and you won't make the optimal progress in your goals anyway. And that changed my life, because instead of trying to like say no to more things and not socialize as much, and just have like sole focus on like gym, and I don't even know, it was basically just gym. I was saying like, oh, you know, and business and stuff, but yeah, I didn't ever do anything. I just like read books like Millionaire Fastlane and Rich Dad Poor Dad. Like I was just coping, right? Like I wasn't even achieving anything, you know. Like I was doing productive things and I was reading books and I was meditating and all that, but my life is kind of, honestly, if I'm being honest with myself, down here. In the 6-month period, boom, like, okay, I'll give you some examples, right? So I'm not like a theater kid, like I'm not like into drama and like, you know, it's not really my thing, but I saw that our school is putting on a musical, and I saw that there were just some open auditions. So I decided to, like, some of my friends were doing it, so I just was like, you know what, this will be funny, it'll be a cool new experience, I'm trying to say yes to more things, I'm just gonna go, and we just like, you know, say the lines with as much kind of like acting skill as we have, and there was also like a musical, like a singing and like instrument playing section of the audition as well, and I'm a musician, so I'd like to think I smashed that. Anyway, I didn't think much of it. I was like, oh, that was fun. Anyway, and maybe 2 weeks later, I get an email from like the art teachers, like the drama teachers, and they're like, you've been cast as the lead role. Like, they gave me the lead role. So I'm playing Gatsby in The Great Gatsby, which is fucking sick. So for the past 2 terms, I've been doing this like production, right, for, like the school play, which is actually a big deal. So I've been putting about 4 or 5 hours per week into going to rehearsals and like learning lines and all this, right? So that's one thing. Second thing is, I was part of this program last year called Top Blokes, right? And basically what it is, it's like a men's mental health and well-being and like life mentoring type program. So it's like an actual foundation, Top Blokes Foundation, and yeah, so basically they take all the like the naughty kids from like all the boys who kind of have like behavioral type issues and like their school attendance isn't good and they don't get good grades. I was in that group, and yeah, so we miss one lesson per week, and we basically go to these like mentoring sessions where we get to sit around, like connect with some of the other boys in our grade who we might not have really hung out with that much, but you know, we obviously have a lot in common with, you know, learn shit about, you know, life and relationships and mental health and physical health. It's not one of those like cringy things, it's actually awesome. Point is, it was a great program, and you know, I was always super engaged with it, and you know, built a really good relationship with a couple of the mentors, right? And anyway, a couple of months ago, I get an email from the organization, and they're like, anyway, it's only like a two semester thing. Anyway, it's only like a 2-term thing. So you get like 1 semester. It's a 20 week course. So I graduated from it, finished it, but I still had this kind of like relationship there with a couple of the mentors who came in. Anyway, this like 20 week like course, like program, mentorship thing, and it's great. It changed my life. But I got the lead role in the musical. I became an ambassador for that program that I told you about, Top Blokes. Basically, they were like, look, you were really engaged in the program. You seem to be quite well spoken. We'd love you to be an ambassador for our organization for this program. You might have to like go on live TV sometimes and like go on the radio, or like come to certain like lunches or events with donors, and like, you know, basically just talk about the program and how it impacted you, and you know, like what it's done for you, and right. So became one of the only 4 ambassadors in my state for that program, which is, you know, that's a pretty big deal. I also got my first girlfriend because, you know, there was a new girl from Colombia in one of my classes, and you know, I thought she was really pretty and she seemed really nice, so I decided to go up to her and, you know, just start a conversation. Anyway, 2-3 months later, she's my girlfriend, and I love her. She's amazing. Really incredible relationships, added so much like meaning and depth and just goodness to my life. My relationship with my friends just increased so much because we started going on like cool like trips and stuff together. You know, we always use the excuse of none of us have a driver's license, so whatever, but we just caught trains and like, you know, just walked places, and we've had so many cool experiences as like a friend group. Oh, and I also decided that it was finally time to start this freaking channel after talking about it for like months, and you know, I've been really enjoying it, and it's really fulfilling. So on that note, that's the lesson I want to pass on in this video. If you're a teenager, get out there, try new things, get as many experiences as you possibly can, say yes to as many opportunities as you can. If ever there's an opportunity to meet new people, take it. If ever there's an opportunity to talk to a cute girl, take it. Like, just live your fucking life, and you will figure out what those things that you should lock in on are when you're, you know, in your 20s. And that's when you really grind, that's when you're really going to make the progress. But for now, just live life. That doesn't mean slack. I'm not saying watch porn and play video games. Please don't do that either. But there's a middle ground. Work on productive things, right? I still go to the gym 3-4 times a week. When the musical finishes and I have rehearsals to be at and stuff, that's going to go up to 5 or 6 times a week, right? I'm still making these videos every week. I'm still reading books and meditating and journaling and improving my relationships. I'm still on self-development. I'm still making progress towards goals, but I'm also just living life. I'm also just experiencing things and meeting people and building relationships. And it's bro, my life is just, I love it. It's great. It's busy. It's chaotic. I've got like 6 hours of rehearsals per week for the musical, so it's stressful and there's challenges and it's hard and it's taking some resilience and some mental toughness. But that's how you build resilience and mental toughness, by putting yourself out there. That's really what I want to leave you with. You got to step out to find out, right? Try new things. Live your life.